You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Joe Rogan erupts in anti-Trump tirade, People Don't Want It, based on an article by Kathleen Cullen. Trump chose the war. Rogan is just late to the damage. Power sat where it always sits. Donald Trump is the one with institutional power here. He announced the war in Iran, then declared the ceasefire effectively over and waved the whole thing off with contempt. That is the decision that matters. Joe Rogan can rage, curse, and perform betrayal, but he does not command the military, sign the orders, or own the consequence. The useful anger. Rogan's outburst is being treated like a story because he is famous, not because he is powerful. That is, the modern con-celebrity outrage gets inflated into political significance, while the actual decision-maker stays centered and unburdened. Rogan endorsed Trump in 2024, stood next to him at the Oval Office, and helped normalize him as a harmless antiwar outsider. Now he is discovering that branding was a lie. What the quote reveals, Rogan's complaint that most people don't want it is the only part that matters politically. Even his language about supporters of Israel shows how quickly these conversations get pushed toward vague outside forces instead of the man who made the call. Trump did not stumble into war through confusion. He chose escalation, then tried to wash the mess off with vulgar dismissal. The real fraud? This is not a betrayal of one podcaster. It is a betrayal of the audience that was sold the fantasy of restraint by a politician whose record keeps proving the opposite. The right loves to wrap itself in anti-war language until war is useful. Then the rhetoric evaporates and the excuses start. Rogan is not the architect of that lie, but he helped launder it. The pattern. The deeper pattern is simple reactionary media ecosystems turn political accountability into emotional fear. They build a personality around defiance, then act shocked when the strawman does what strawmen do. The result is not confusion but cover. Trump makes the decision. His boosters absorb the embarrassment. The public pays for both. The lesson. The story is not that Rogan is finally mad. The story is that Trump still has the power to launch a war, then retreat into contempt, while the people who helped build his audience are left scolding the wreckage they helped make possible. That is not a contradiction. It is the operating system. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Roar's story for today's article with the automated voice of Norman. Thanks for listening.